you can sit. Can you give me like a towel or something? Like over here. You can sit right here. Okay. So you can. I'm trying to. Yeah, random blue towel. I don't know if they, cause it's like a little smudge over here. Yeah, dude. It's a little bit smudge over here. You can sit right here. I know. I be trying to find space. Yeah, like give me that. We are live, full in color. Okay, it's early in the morning. I know. Okay, I'm trying to, cause sometimes. Okay, this look better, don't it? Yeah. No, that look better. Yeah. That looks better. Okay, here. So we are here early in the morning. I know it's really, really early. What time is it? It is 7:12. And we have a lot of stuff to do right now, but I really wanted to, I told you this morning that I wanted to talk about this real quick. And I know I have yet to make any videos, but I just felt like making a live would be a little bit faster. So anybody that is unable to watch this live, you can always go back. This video will be saved onto my channel. If you have yet to follow my channel, go ahead and subscribe, like this live, and go ahead and watch some of my other videos that I do have posted on my YouTube. There is going to be background noise because I'm ready to get my daughter ready. We're ready to go ahead and travel around these Meredith streets. But anyway, basically, guys, the reason why I'm here this early morning, because half of you guys are probably asleep, is because I feel like first thing in the morning, that's where my creativity, like that's when I'm very creative. That's where I feel like me and my mom have like these morning conversations. Hold up. Every night, every morning. We always have like morning conversation. And so if you don't know, this is my mom, Miss Patty. And she also lives here in Merida, as well as me. But we had this talk, and we're just talking about the panoramic. That's what I'm gonna call it, panoramic. Yeah. We were talking about the panoramic, and we were also talking about just life in general and expectations of what other people expect from us, and just overall, just life. So if you're interested in this topic, if you're wanting to hear our feedback or just our life experience, stay tuned. Please do not click over and just, I hope you enjoy it. So anyway, this morning we had a conversation, and what was your first, you asked me she asked me a question that nobody have ever asked me. Even people that comment on to my video, this is a question that nobody have ever asked me this question. And what is the question that you asked me?
The question was, what would you do if it was not a pandemic? Would you still stay in the state that you live in? Or what would you do? What you do?
You don't have to actually look at the camera. Like,
okay,
you can
what would you do if it was not a pandemic? Demic. And that's a question. And she said, that's a good idea. And the question, she said, will we still stay?
No, just ask the question. Just ask the question. I can answer.
Okay, the questions I'm asking you guys.
So so here's the question. Because my mom, she's looking at the camera because she's nervous. And she doesn't really do good in the camera. So that's why she's staring at you this far. The question was, if there was not a pandemic, will I have left? Would I have left the U.S., right? And so my response naturally to her was, no, I would never have left. I still probably would have stayed at my corporate job. I still probably would have been stressed, and I more than likely would have been losing more of my hair. I would have been prescribed high blood pressure because it was getting towards that way, because I was just stressing about every and anything that was in my life. So no, I would have never left the U.S. And the reason why I would never left the U.S. because I did not know the direction. Like, let me say this. The ideal of leaving the U.S. was there. I have always knew that I always wanted to leave the U.S. since I was a youngin. Like when I was young, I used to love those long road trips, like those long car rides, especially with dad. Like I used to fall asleep naturally. You know what I'm saying? So I always knew that there was more for me outside of the US, but I just didn't know how, especially, me being a single parent to 3 kids. And it's just like, but how can I do that? How can I manage it? Yes, there's, a few people that I follow on YouTube, especially people that was in Meredith, and some people that are still in Meredith that I follow, but I just never really got the answer that I was needing. I really, to be honest, I felt like they were talking to one directive people, and some of these people have income coming in from retirement, or some of these people from military. So I didn't have anybody really talking to people, especially one, a single parent, two, to somebody like in my situation that does not receive any kind of additional funds or checks, or I did not have that. Like, it was just really hard to really, still to this day, it's kind of hard to find somebody that can say, okay, they started from the bottom and now they're here.
Right. That's what the biggest thing we was talking about when we look at some of the videos and stuff, and everybody was like, oh, you can do this, you can do that, but they never said the cons and the pros about
they did always say
but not as much.
They did say the cons. They did talk about the pros and cons. What I'm meaning is, like, their direct audience was more for people that were single. They were their direct audience, and there's nothing wrong with that because that was their audience. And so what I try to build for my platform, I mean, I'm okay with the people that are single, but my platform is to show, or trying to show, people that do have that 1 child, 2 child, whatever, how many kids you have, right? How I was able to grow, how I was able to go ahead and maintain the living that I am living today, right? Because once again, let's circle back to that question. If the panoramic did not happen, my truthful and organic answer is I would have still stayed in the US. And it was because naturally is that first of all, nothing was shook enough for me. And the reason why I said nothing was shook enough for me is because I still was getting paid at my little corporate job. I had my business.
Right.
I did have my own online business that I was comfortable, right? But I was stressed. I couldn't hire people right away because I was a new business owner in Washington State. And if anybody know Washington State, it's expensive altogether, right?
Expensive.
So, I had opened these 2 offices, plus I'm working a full-time job. I'm also a mother to 3 kids. I still have my life. And so everything was just like, especially in 2019, going into 2020 was just like chaotic. It was chaotic, but in my mind, I thought that I could still handle it. I feel like I'm a kind of person, I don't really complain about certain situations, especially when it comes to generational wealth. I'm always feel like I am willing to sacrifice myself so I can make sure that my kids and their kids and their kids and their kids' kids don't ever have to be bondage in a belief of, and that's another story, okay, guys? But anyway, so with that being said, I would have never left the U.S. Like, generally, I would never have left the U.S. I would have still stayed in Washington, and I would have just, probably been on high blood pressure. My blood pressure was up to the roof. You remember?
Yeah, you was having a lot of anxiety and stuff like that. You were just so stressed out.
I was so stressed out. It was just like a whole bunch of situations that was happening. And then on top of that, there was people that I was accounting on during that time. Mm-hmm. I was accounting on a lot of people. And I know that you guys probably seen Barbie, which is AKA Barbara from Meredith Moves. But I remember this one time I had a conversation with her, and it was in regards to another situation. And I had a conversation with Barbara, And I was telling her, this was during the time that my dad passed away, and I came back to Meredith, and I was telling myself, like, okay, I don't know whether or not if I'm going to stay here. I was like, I don't know whether or not I'm going to stay here, situation. To this day, I don't even know what I'm doing, okay? Because one day I'm ready to leave, and the next day, the next day I'm like, I'm gone, right? Yeah. And I'm going to tell you guys, sometimes the truth will hurt. I'm going to tell you why. The truth will hurt. Even when you're not expecting for the truth, you have to be willing to listen to the truth. And it was something hard for me because I've never been around people that actually was truthful to me. I've always been people that stayed because they wanted something out of me. But when you have people around in your circle that doesn't want anything from you, but they actually want you to do better, it was just like, wow, like, you don't even know me, but you want the best. And she's right. And she sat right beside me and she said, Princess. Because I was telling her, I was like, I'm always thinking this way and I'm always going above, beyond. If somebody told me, like, to this day, people ask me, like, Prince, I need help with this. Or Princess, I'm always giving up myself,
and
right?
You always said that everybody is not just like you.
And I had to, and that's what Barbara, aka Barbie, she has stated to me, and she said, Princess, you have to stop expecting people to think and be like you. Sometimes I feel like we form this relationship, this whatever friendship with other people, expecting them to be like us because we gel with this one thing. So that means that more than likely they gotta be like us in some kind of similar way. And I had to really sink that in. Like, first of all, that really took me out because I had a little attitude. I'm gonna be honest, I had an attitude. I was like, hold up, who are you and why are you telling me about myself? But once again, like, I had to realize, like, Princess, not everybody think like you. Not everybody.
And the funny thing about it is that you had to have an outside person that is not even part of your circle that told you, hey, do you. If you don't do you, then nobody gonna do, that.
Not everybody's gonna do it. And anybody that's coming in, this is my mom, Miss Patty. She did move all the way out here in Meredith with me. So but so my whole situation was, it really took me a while to accept that truth, then digest that truth, then live in the truth that not everybody rolls the same way that I do. And I know this is a side conversation, but anybody that's watching us on live, I know it's early in the morning or whatever, but usually me and my mom in the morning time, when we have conversation, I was like, man, this will be good for our lives. So that's why we up early in the morning. I'm still tired, but I'm gonna do this live, okay? So it took an outsider to actually tell me about myself. And I really never had anybody really tell me the truth because everybody was depending on me.
Yeah, and that's
so they felt like if I tell her the truth, or if I tell her, hey, X, Y, and Z, then that means whatever I'm getting from her is going to stop, right?
Yeah.
It's going to stop. And so I had to, and so I now have identified these people, and I have removed these people out of my life. I have removed several people. So the next question was, so what made me leave the U.S., right?
Yeah.
So the first question was, if the panoramic, I know I'm saying the word wrong. So anybody is like, that's not how you say it. I know. But if the panoramic did not happen, would I have still left the U.S.? Okay, and I answered no, I wouldn't. Okay,
and I wouldn't too.
I wouldn't at all. Right. So what made me leave? And I feel like I maybe said a little in my videos why I left the U.S. and blah blah blah. But the truth is, if the panoramic did not happen, I would not have left the U.S. That's point blank period. I could have been. Listen, during the time that it was in the panoramic, I was watching a lot of travel videos. Like, traveling is in my heart and my soul. I was just fearful of everything. I was fearful of everything that was coming, okay? And I wasn't saying it, but I was feeling it, okay? So what made me leave the U.S. is I started seeing people in my media family dropping like flies.
Yeah.
I started seeing that I had to close my business.
Right.
I started seeing that I wasn't happy. And I wasn't happy when it wasn't a panoramic.
Yeah.
You understand? But I started seeing these things happening right in front of my eyes. And I said to myself, and I said to God, I said, if I'm going to die today, I don't want to die this way.
No.
You have to tell yourself, like, if something happened to you right now at this given time, would you?
That's a question.
Would you?
Yeah.
Still stay in the situation that you're currently in, or would you actually take that leap out of faith and actually do you? Like, do you? Like, do you, boo-boo? Like, do you? But would you do you, right? Would you take that leap out of faith and actually focus on you?
That you every day that you get up in the morning is that, what can I change my life? Would I do this? Would I do that? And that's the reason why she said, hey, let's go to Meredith. And then I'm saying, why are we doing it? And she said, well, I just want to do it. I said, okay, let's go.
Because you didn't even know anything about Meredith.
No, I did not.
And I didn't really know anything about Meredith in the beginning of 2020, but slowly but generally, I can't even speak this morning. So if I'm messing up some words, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
it's
slowly, I started, I don't know how Meredith came up. I don't even know. But I know that it was several YouTubers, and I started seeing people talk about Mexico, and I started seeing people talk about, certain things. And then I found a single mom, right? And I was like, oh, wow, this probably be cool. And then I started researching the place, and then I do my own research. I just don't go by off of YouTube. That's one thing for sure.
But be honest, Mexico was not your first choice.
Mexico was not. Merida and Mexico altogether was not my first choice. I think I said it in one of my videos. I don't believe it was my live video, but I always stated that Merida was not my first choice. Actually, I wanted to go to Portugal. And that was the choice. But it was just a lot of stuff that was happening. I was like, okay, well, Mexico for right now is a safe place for me right now. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but so Mexico was a safe choice for me. It was safe, right? It was safe because if anything had happened, if everything didn't go right, I'd be close to the U.S. and I could jet, right? So Mexico wasn't first, but it is something that I am glad that I took a chance on, and it has opened my eyes.
Yeah.
But going back to what I was saying previously, the reason why I had a brain fart. This is why I don't do lives in the morning time. This is why I don't do lives in the morning time. Because I know nobody is gonna be on here, but listen,
yeah, it's kind of
my brains is like.
And she said, "Oh, I just gonna do it."
Because I was just like, man. Because sometimes when I be making videos, like, yes, I could be writing it down. I could write it down and stuff like that. But I just feel like it's very organic when I have the first morning. Like, I have like what I'm feeling and stuff like that. And if you guys like this, please go ahead and put a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this, especially with me and my mom just talking all together, go ahead and put that down in the comments. And like I said, if anybody is unable to see it right now, I will post it onto my channel all together where you can see my live. Okay, so yeah, we're going to make sure that this stay here, but it is a good conversation. I feel like it's a good conversation.
Yes, it is.
Especially if I wake up early in the morning.
And with some idea like, hey, we need to go ahead and bring it up to the people. And like I said, I don't know why I came with that. I just thought about it and just came in my head and said,
yo, you're the first person that asked me, like, Princess, if you did not leave, if you didn't leave Washington, would you still had it? And that was something, but like I said before, once you start seeing the loved ones, your immediate family dropping like flies, and you start saying, this is what I want, this is what I would ask for each one of you, whoever that's watching this. This is what I would ask for you guys. If the panoramic, okay, and like I said before, I know how to say it, but I'm not going to say it, okay? If the panoramic did not happen, would you be still doing what you're doing now? Would you actually, and this could be for people that actually took the chance of, starting a business.
Mhm.
This could be for people that actually took the chance to actually live out their life or going back to school. Would you have done it? Would you still have done it? You understand? I feel like for me, I needed to get my life. I needed to have, and I know this is kind of crazy, so please don't judge me, but you probably is going to judge me. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay? But here's the thing. Sometimes you just need your life to be shooken. Sometimes, and that's my honest opinion, sometimes you need your life to be shooken to understand that you need to fulfill your life. You need to walk in a direction that you are needing to go. Sometimes you need to be shooken to understand, dang, I really need to focus on
get my life in order.
I need to get my life in order. So thank you for that question, because that really had me thinking.
Because she was so happy, we gotta put it on there. I'm like,
I was like, yeah, because a lot of people, and this is friends or family members, but before this panorama, a lot of people still would have been doing the same thing they have been doing. And you can't tell me that's a lie. A lot of people would still be doing the same exact thing that they were doing in 2019, 2018, 2017. But sometimes when life shakes you, it puts you in situations where you it's a fight or flight. It's basically you have to make that decision. And when life itself, because here's the thing, the panorama, I first of all, I don't have control of the panorama.
No,
okay?
we don't have
right.
control.
So one thing about humans is we feel like we have to control a situation. Right. In this situation, I couldn't control it. Nope. Because it wasn't only affecting me; it was affecting everybody, right? Yeah. Everybody around the world. And so when I start realizing that I wasn't in control, I had to say, "But I am in control of my life."
Right. That's true.
I am in control of my life. When you feel like you can't be in control of the situation around you, you have to realize that you are in control of your life. And when I realized at 30 years old, 31 years old, right? Once I realized that it was my life that I was stopping, I had to take a seat. Yeah. And I had that conversation. You was walking through the door, and I said, "Mom, I'm moving to Meredith." And you looked at me like I was a darn fool. You said, I'm like, you said what? Okay, where this come from? Where did this come from? You said, what? Girl. Cause listen, I was afraid, but you gotta understand I was still, even when I told you that I wanted to move to Mexico, I was still afraid. I was still scared. See, one thing about me is I can still be scared, but I won't tell you that I'm scared. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, girl. But I'm in my mind be like, I don't know how we're gonna do this, but we're gonna do it, girl. We're gonna do it. And I was so scared. I was scared because other people's opinion. I was scared because the news. I was scared about the news too, but I was scared about everybody else's opinion. I was
that's true.
I was scared.
Like, why are you going there?
Yeah. And what did I tell you?
I said,
what did I tell you?
You told me to block it.
No, what did I tell you? When I knew that I was going to go to Meredith, and when I was going to move to Mexico,
you told me it was going to get our passport.
But I told you not to tell anybody.
That's true. You told me, don't say nothing. I'm like, okay.
I said, we're going to keep this as quiet as possible.
So we get everything in together.
Because you got to move in silence. Not everybody is meant to know what your journey is going to be, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And for me, it was I don't want to say it, but the psychological brainwash of many years with my company I was working for. I was so brainwashed that I just assumed that this was my only gift. And you got to understand, huh?
My eyes, you know how it is. When I don't get no sleep, my eyes start.
I realized that my job, I felt like my job, and I'm saying this real loud, job. I felt like my job was the only thing that was for me, right? Because
it was like a blanket to you.
It was my security blanket. Yeah. It was actually my security blanket. Yeah. I mean, I can honestly say, and this is me living my honest truth. You understand? You have to be honest with yourself. This is the reason why I did not. It wasn't because other people were telling me, Princess, I see you doing this. Princess, I see you doing this. I just didn't believe in myself.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, this is a risk. And it was a risk because, first of all, I'm a single mom. Yeah. Anything I do can affect my kids. And I work so hard. Yeah. Y'all gotta understand, I worked my butt off. I moved from Missouri to Arizona to Washington. You understand?
Yeah.
Not with want anybody help. I worked my butt off.
I remember when you told me that you wanted. Well, we were talking about Arizona. I was even going to be part of it. It was your young baby.
Yeah, but I was saving up my paychecks, and I was 25. I was saving up my paycheck. But that's another story, guys.
We're talking about the pandemic.
But we're talking about the panoramic.
I'm sorry.
Okay, we're talking about the panoramic. Okay. But what I will really say is that I had to really believe in myself. I had to stop worrying about how everybody judged me. And like I said, I would have never left if the panoramic did not happen. And I actually, and this is so effed up. This is so effed up because a lot of people lost their lives during this panoramic. And I know firsthand how heartbreaking this is. But sometimes bad things can turn things into good things. You understand? Like, yes, it affected everybody, but on the other end, it woke me up. Like, do that make sense?
It shook you.
Like, it shook me. You understand? Like, I had to get shooken. Have you ever had good shooking? Yeah. Like, somebody shake you up, you were like, oh, well, okay.
That's what I said. When my mother passed away, that shook me. Shook
but it didn't shook you to the core of
to leave.
But sometimes, yeah. So that's what I'm basically saying. Like, you know, me and my mom have these morning conversations, and I just wanted to every day, and I wanted to make a live about it. I'm just like, I just feel like, you know, sometimes you got to be honest with yourself. And to be honest, I would have still been working at my job. I still would have been having anxieties. I would have still have chest problems. I still would have had like all of these problems, bro. I would have still had these problems because I was so fearful of living my life, and I don't know how to explain.
Now, we're not saying that the United States is bad. It's just that we decided.
Hold up. I listen. One thing I'm gonna stop doing. No. I'm gonna tell you what I do on my channel. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. Yeah. If y'all want to believe whatever y'all want to believe, y'all believe how y'all want to believe. I'm gonna tell you what my journey is. Now, if you want to stay in the U.S., you stay in the U.S. But what I'm not gonna do is, because what I used to do is I used to be like, you know, to make everybody else feel comfortable, like, oh, okay, well, you know, I'm not talking about the U.S. No, I'm talking about everything. If you're tired of being in the U.S. and you're tired of being wherever you're from, live your dream. I'm not talking bad about my country, but I am saying that for me, it was time to go. Okay? So I'm not going to do that anymore. Like, that's old princess. So let's she's in the back, okay? The new princess have now been in Mexico for how long?
Going on
11 months,
9 months.
10 months.
10 months, yeah.
10 months now. Yeah. You know, and so all I'm basically saying is, no, I did not have a person that spoke directly to me. A lot of videos on YouTube, they really don't talk about what I'm looking for. You understand? You know, everybody has other income. Some people are retired. Yeah. Some people from the military. What about the person that just quit their job
and went to
another country? You know, I need you to speak to me.
Yeah.
Where are you? I need somebody that went from the ground and started up. And so that's why I wanted my YouTube channel. And that's where I'm still trying to rebrand myself, to speak to those people, because there are questions from people that are just like me. They're like, Princess, I see that you're doing it and X, Y, and Z, but I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. And I'm gonna tell you honestly, start saving your money up.
Yeah.
Start putting your money up.
Yeah.
I would really say start putting your money up and figuring out what skills that you have that you feel like you can do online. Because everything I do is online. Yeah. And when I tell you online, because most people want to be specific, so I'm gonna be very like detailed. Like I find online jobs. Like it's on Indeed. Like there's so many things that are
resources out there for you.
There's so many.
You just got to
But
go out there and just do it,
Yeah, just don't give up and stop talking to people. Stop talking to people. Your eyes are gonna flicker like that because early in the morning. You're fine, girl. You on live and you flicking your eyes.
I'm sorry, it's making my vision go in and out.
You want some water?
No, it don't go away. It's
But
just early in the morning.
But yeah, that is one of the conversations I really wanted to talk about because it's conversations like this, like where you are able to really start your morning off. Like I'm a person, like first thing I talk to my mom early in the morning. And some of the things that I talk about, I feel like it's helping. It's whether I feel like it's helping you or it's helping me early in the morning.
Because when you have somebody conversation, we talk about the news, we talk
about the news, but I just feel like
we talk about everything.
I don't really have friends. I don't have no friends. People ask me all the time, do you got friends in Mexico? I don't have no friends in Mexico. I don't have no friends in Meredith. And I feel like the reason why I don't have any friends in Mexico, I know I'm jumping to other places. Listen, it's going to be fine. But I feel like the reason why I don't have friends also in Mexico is because I feel like it should be organic. I don't like being friends because this is your friend. That doesn't mean that that's supposed to be my friend. That makes sense. But most people feel like because this other friend, because this one person jail with the other person that you supposed to be. No, I want it organic. I want to know who you are. Right. Like to me, not through the other person. I want to see like, are you for me or are you really my friend? So yes, I have not made any friendship in Mexico. It's not because I have not tried. It's because I feel like if we meet and we vibe, but I don't do the I won't say fake, but I will say fake. I don't do that because we are women. I don't do all that stuff. I just feel like if we sync and we talking about some stuff and we good.
That's fine.
It's
a
fine.
General relationship.
It's a cool relationship. I just like to meet you for who you are, not through who everybody else is. And that's just me on top. But I really wanted to just talk about Meredith, it wasn't really talking about Meredith. It was really on the topic of me leaving. Mom's eyes flickering on live is no problem. There is real life. And I like this channel because you are real and transparent. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry my eyes flick. It's just that in the morning it just goes
early in the
morning. It has to take a while.
And I don't drink any coffee. So I don't drink coffee. Coffee be making me, I don't know, the older I get, the coffee just make me feel like it's antsy. Like I just be feeling like I got some like I've been on something. I'm like, I don't like this feeling like but all I'm just basically saying is that life is how it is. It's like people are going to be who they are. And I feel like stop being around people that is going to agree with you because you are beneficial to their needs.
Right.
I was somebody, and I'm saying this as a friend, like friendships with people and relationship with people. I was people's sugar mamas or whatever. That's how I felt mentally, physically. I felt like I was that, right? Mm-hmm. I felt like people wasn't, because one thing about me is I'm very aggressive. I feel like
there's nothing wrong to be aggressive because you want something.
I'm not aggressive. I won't say I'm aggressive. I feel like I'm very
aggressive, passive.
I'm not passive aggressive. I feel like I'm very straightforward.
And a lot of people don't want to deal with
I feel like I'm straightforward. All right. And so when it comes to these, I feel like how people try to get on my good side is because they pretend to be something that they're not. So when they come to me, I'm thinking they cool people because I don't feel like people I don't know. People know if they really show their true colors, I will cut them off. That's why I feel like.
True.
Yeah. I feel like people really, and you have seen it. You've seen it in the past month and week of me cutting people off.
And I'll be like, okay.
Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. I don't care how long we've been knowing each other. Nobody is safe. If I feel like
that you take?
If I feel like I'm putting more into our relationship, and when I say relationship, I'm not talking about boyfriend, husband, or whatever. I'm talking about just people in general. If I feel like I'm putting more into the situation, you will be removed. And I don't even talk anymore. I just block, delete, and I just keep moving. I'm not going to have a conversation. And that's why I feel like it's hard for me to find friendships.
But
like
you know,
real friendships
but you
like
teach
that.
people who are like that, because all the time you always make sure that they was okay.
Absolutely.
But when you start fronting people based on their attitude, you start getting respect, because then they say, oh, that's how you feel. You know?
No, because I don't even, okay, and that's why I'm saying I'm so weird, because I don't even give you room to have a conversation. I'm going to tell you, I'm a Cancer, okay? And I have a huge heart, and this is, if you don't have, if y'all do Zodiac, okay, that's fine. But I'm a Cancer. I'm very loving. And I'm a very nurturing person. I always want to make sure you're good. I always make sure other people's good before I'm good.
Yeah.
That's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? But once I feel
that you
are coming for me, like once I feel, like you don't even need to say it, like I could just feel it. Once I feel that way, I remove myself away from it, because I know my heart is so big that I'll let you back in.
Really?
I know my heart is so big that I will let you back in. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So that's the whole thing that I had to shut down, especially for me to be successful in my move. Especially for me to be successful, because I feel like once I moved out of the country, a lot of people comments, especially so-called friends, was, okay, well, are you ready to move back to the U.S.? Girl, you don't need to move back to the U.S. Oh, girl, don't worry about, the cartels is going to come and kill you. All that.
That's a big thing.
I said, and this is my comment, like, girl, do you know how many hoods and ghettos that we lived in before, when I, with my kids never been together. But do you know how many times I could have got killed?
That's true.
Do you know? So what you trying to tell me is soon when I get to Mexico, somebody gonna pop me, right?
Yeah.
You gotta stop being around people that got short-term,
right,
low vibration.
Yeah.
I had to stop dealing with people like that. Like people, you have to listen to how people talk. Mm-hmm. You also have to watch how people talk about themselves. You also have to watch people how they talk about their friends. I watch everything what a person do. When you think I'm not listening, I'm listening, baby. Mm-hmm. I listen how you talk to your friends. I listen how you tell me about your friend. First of all, we're not even friends yet, and you telling me about your friend. So it's a lot of those situations where there's a lot of those situations where I would say, if you met the old princess, I hope that you was able to get everything that you was needing out of her. But this princess,
the 10 months of it,
I'm just not taking any dead weight anymore. I was taking too many dead weights, and I feel like, especially for you to live your life organically, the way that you want, especially in another country, is that you have to remove those dead weights. You have to remove it. If I move back to the States, it's going to be because I want to move back to the States. I don't need to give not one damn person one reason why I'm moving, okay? But it doesn't. If I move back to the state, it's not because it's the feed or whatever. It's because I want to move. But like, I don't need to tell people why. Like, everybody feel like they have to give people explanation.
We're not chained to any country. We just want to do you. Like I said.
Do you, boo-boo.
Yeah. Like I said, it was a scary situation when we left there. But like I said, little by every day, we kind of develop of loving the country we go to.
No, I don't feel like I'm gonna be. Well, that'll be your perspective. I feel like for me, the longer I stayed here, I learned that I had to give my kids and myself and my family. I first of all, once I touched down here, I immediately went into the mode of survival.
Right.
When I first touched down, I'm gonna be honest with y'all guys. Y'all want me to be very transparent with you. I'm gonna be very, very transparent, okay? I'll be more transparent than I have ever been on the video. Once I first touched down to Mexico, I was scared as hell. I'm not gonna sit here like it wasn't a language barrier. It was just that I was out of my element.
Yep.
I was out of my element. I was so used to I don't want to cuss because I do cuss, but I was so used to the sheep. You know, if you understand what
the crap.
Yeah, the crap. Yeah. I was so used to the crap and no, because the word that I was gonna use was gonna sound better. But it was sheep.
Oh,
it was gonna be
yeah. You understand what we're trying to tell you. Yeah.
But I was so used to the struggle. I was so used to the bills, the hustle and the bustle that I really didn't know how to really enjoy life. Mm-hmm. I was so used to living life on the edge that I didn't know I no longer needed to live on the edge anymore, if that makes sense. And most people be like, no, but you should be happy. I was so used to working so many overtime hours. I was so used to, I didn't really see my kids. Like I said, I had two offices.
Yeah.
If I got off of work at 3 o'clock, I was at my offices to my businesses from 3 to 12 or 3 to 10. I didn't really get, so I'm so used to killing myself. I was so used to killing myself inside that I didn't know how to be free. So when I went to Mexico and people was telling me to relax, I'm like, but how?
Yeah. When you're in a toxic.
It is, but it's something that we've been trained at.
Right.
You know, everybody been trained. Like, I went to college, you know, these are the things that you're being taught when you're a young kid. You're supposed to do this. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to do that. Mm-hmm. So let me read it. It makes sense. The hamster wheel. Right. That's true. It's the hamster wheel grind, right? So I'm so used to that. So when somebody when you put any object or any person in a situation where there's calmness, you're like, what the hell? What's going on?
It's like you're on drugs.
No, you want to know something? It's you know, I could put it better. It's like, you know how like I never dealt with this, but it's like somebody coming out of prison.
Yeah, like you're in institute.
They've been institute for so long, and then finally, like, you're free. You like,
what can I?
You see the cars moving so fast. You see people popping up with their phones. It's new. It's something like you got to get used to it. So when I come in Mexico, I'm seeing people in groups say, "Oh, just be calm," and I'm just like, well, y'all need to really be easy on people that's coming from these high stress. Right. You understand? Because you've been here for years. I just got here. I don't know how to relax. Right. You understand?
And it takes a while to.
It took a while. And even when I came here to Mexico, and I really didn't talk about this, but when my first couple of weeks, I started having really bad anxiety. Yeah. I had really bad anxiety. My first week, I called a doctor. I spent like $60 for them to give me blood work. Yeah. Because I thought I was having heart problems. And I'm gonna tell you, okay, I thought I was having heart problems. So she went ahead and she sent like a person over, get my blood, draw my blood, got my blood test within an hour, and she was like, your heart is fine. It was your anxiety. It was my anxiety, but it was just like I don't know. It was like I didn't have to fight no more. When you're so used to fighting for everything. And so now you're being told that you can relax. It's like, how? Right. How do y'all relax? And so what I realized, what I had to relax is I turned all my social media. So that's why sometimes y'all see me not post videos, because sometimes I have to give myself time.
And that's why the pandemic really, really helped us.
I had to, you know, because most people be like, oh, yo, panoramic. We gonna say panoramic. But that's why I don't make a lot of videos. Like, I know that I can make a ton of money on my YouTube and stuff like that. But when it comes to my mental health, that comes first. Yeah. I don't care. Like, my numbers could be up, my following group could be up, but
if you're not happy,
I'm not saying I wasn't happy, but this is my first year of being out of my element, right? Yeah. So I have to get to know me. I've been really getting to know Princess, like what Princess don't like. You know, so my first week here in Meredith, like it was just crazy. It was so crazy. It was even crazy for the kids.
Yeah, because they was never used to.
They wasn't used to. Isabella was ready to faint. Like this is all the stuff that, especially I don't show behind, this is behind the scene. Like my oldest, she was ready to pass out. Like it was a lot of, I can cry right now, but I'm tired right now. But y'all know I be crying on my videos. but but it was frightening, but it was like, how like you want to cry so bad, like you just, it was just like that. It was just that compulsion of like.
I remember you asked me last, you said, when that week when you said, I'm thinking about going back to the United States.
I was.
It was like,
I was thinking about going back to the US because it was just like, and I don't want to mess up chill mode, just like chill mode has stated, like I was in that wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
Like I would say I was so used to it. It was just like what, and so then I was thinking to myself, like, okay, but how can I make sure I stay with money? How can me and my kids survive? Right. How, if one of my kids gets sick, how am I supposed to do this? Yeah. Like I did do my research, but it was still like little things that no research was going to help you with. It was like, once you touch down, then that's when you're on your own, right? So that's why I felt like I didn't have like people I could call for. But then when I started to realize I didn't even have people to call for when I was in the States. So I was just like, well, damn. Like I'm really on my own, right? So for me, I had to learn to chill.
And let things come
to let things be what they are. When I start seeing people talk about, well, I called my maintenance man and they said they was gonna be there. I was one of those people that was like, why didn't I hear this? It's been 5 minutes. I started learning, like, you know what? I'm about to leave. I'm about to go somewhere. Whenever they come, they come. Yeah. You have to live your life. And I was always under oppression, since a young girl, is that this is how life is. You work to die. Oh, that sounds so.
That's true. That's it. That you come on the earth, you work. You
work and you come on earth to just work and die. For most people, they have the privilege of living out their life the way they want to. But I just felt I didn't feel like it was something that I didn't feel like it was for me. I see everybody else do it, but I was like, maybe this is not meant for me to do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm supposed to be, doing this all by my own. Like, this is what I'm telling myself, and I'm accepting. In my mind, I'm accepting this. Yeah. Because one thing I always do, guys, and we already at 47 minutes, because we got to go. We're going to be in these Meredith streets. So
we got to hit that street.
When we see y'all, we see y'all. But one thing about what I do is before a situation happens, like if I know something bad is about to happen, I start telling myself, like, okay, we're gonna get through it. Like I mentally prepare myself for certain things. So when it does happen, I'll be like, oh, I already knew that was gonna come. Yeah, that's true. So for me, I learned how to do that throughout life. If something didn't happen for me, I'd be like, oh, well, Princess, X, Y, Z. Not meant to be. Yeah, I'm always that kind of person. Like, I'm always like, and sometimes it issue me off. Because I put so much work and stuff. I put so much hard work in things. Like, whatever I do, I put my all into something and stuff like that. But it really, to boil everything down to everything we talked about, because I know we were talking about things here and there, like everywhere. But to be truthful with you, it all boiled down, like everything. If you put everything together, is what made me leave Meredith. Yeah. Oh no, hold up. No, leave the U.S.
He was saying sorry.
It made me leave the U.S. That was what made me leave the U.S. because I have been programmed so long. And I've been programmed and I've been conditioned and I have been told certain things that I'm supposed to do. Especially that's why I made this channel. And I know there's so many different, or maybe there's a few single mom videos, but I'm not like other single mom videos. Like, I am unapologetic. I say whatever I want to say. And sometimes people don't like it and I really don't care. Period. But I don't have extra resources or I don't have this. And this is not to beat them up because I'm so glad for them. But I am saying that everything I do and anything you see me do on my video, it's me grinding really hard. It's me grinding really hard for whatever I'm getting. I do work a 9-to-5 job. So I am able to live my life in the way that I want to, but I am working towards of me working for myself back again. It is not something that's overnight. And this is where I want to bring back reality. You know, some people do have that ability to work as an entrepreneur. For me, like I said, I'm a mother first. And so being a mother, I still have to feed my kids. So when people talk about, oh, well, let's be an entrepreneur. Okay, then who's going to take care of these 3 kids?
Right.
You understand? And most people could tell me wrong, like, nah, girl, you can do this on the side. I did nah. I moved to Meredith. I moved out the country because I didn't want to overload myself in the first place. I don't want to overload myself. Like to this day, I don't put a lot of stuff on my.
Just like you see people on TV relaxing, we want to feel that way ourselves. You know, drink in the morning. You know, drink our coffee.
And we still do it.
We still do it.
I'm able to make this live video. I'm able to do it. What I'm trying to say is that everybody has their own way of how they are able to achieve the life that they want. And I'm still working on it. I'm still working on my dream. But what I want to say is me being a single mom, I also have to make sure that these 3 kids back here are fed and stuff. So yes, I'm working on going back to being an entrepreneur, but right now we gotta pay bills. we gotta feed ourselves, right? So it's gonna be that time where I'm able to live that lavish life. But I feel like this is the first step. I'm not trying to run for the I'm not trying to get the gold plate right now. I'm first of all, this is my first step. My first step was leaving out the U.S. And I did that, right? I accomplished that. Now is healing. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm healing. Once I'm able to get Princess right and heal right, then everything else will flow in, right?
Yep.
But I'm never on my channel, on this channel, I'm never going to be like, I'm never ever going to fake something, right? And I know, you know, as single parents, and I'm speaking for single parents, but understand for single parents, we want to do everything. We want to make sure our kids' life is taken care of. If you are moving from the U.S. and you're coming to whatever country, don't feel like it's a rat race. It isn't.
No,
it isn't. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of things, and I'm going to make a video before the end of the year that the things that I made mistakes on, the things that I wish I did better on, the things that I was fearful on. I'm going to be open to you guys. I feel like on my YouTube, I'm more open to this channel than I am to people in reality. Like, I feel like, okay, this is reality, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. But I feel like if you were a single mother, and this is for any single mothers or single fathers, just one thing I'm going to say to you. Don't feel like when you come to a different country and you see other people's success that you need to get to that success. Take your time. The first thing you did that was great was leave, right? You took that. Not many people can say that. Second of all, heal. So a lot of people, that I speak to or people that comment, they're like, oh, well, we want to see this video. Nah, baby, you want to see a video when I post the video. But you're going to see a video. But first, Princess got to really heal because you got to understand, I've been living in the U.S. for, 31 years? And this is my first year of living life the way I want to. So that means that I have a lot of healing to do. There's a lot. There's a lot of things and mindsets and things that I have been trained to believe that I have to get myself together. And if this is not one of you, okay, I applaud you, baby. But I'm just telling you, there's some days where I'm just like, Princess, you got to get yourself together. Princess, you got to figure out your life. Everybody always have a plan for me, but I don't have a plan for myself. And the reason why I don't got a plan for myself is because I don't know what I want to do. So when people ask me questions, I'm like, I don't know. Girl,
day by day. day by day.
I just got off the plane.
Yeah.
You're talking about, so what you want to do in your next success? Girl, no, I want to go to sleep. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And it's okay to say you don't know. Like, I just feel like people be like, okay, I have this agenda and I have this plan. Like, I do have my own plans. Like, I want to finish up writing my book. I want to finish writing more kids' books. Like, I still want to do that. But I also know that I need to get this right before I do anything. You know, and that's just me. That's I make myself accountable, because I feel like when my mind is not right, I start putting whatever out, and that's not good. That's not good, because it's not coming from a place of clean, like not a clean, but it's not coming from a place of pure. Like I'm not able to think clearly, right?
That's true.
And that was the whole thing. You know, a lot of things has happened in 2020, 2021 to a lot of people. Yeah. And we feel like we just can just jump up and keep on doing, you burning yourself out. Right. I was doing that. When I came off the plane after, you know, getting my dad taken care of in May, I felt like I could just go back to normal. Like, no.
Things change.
Things change. You change. Your kids change. Money changed. You understand? I was having money problems. I put all that money in that funeral. Not one person. You know, it's not to beat up people. It's not to beat up people. Yeah. Like I said earlier in my video, I was assuming that everybody was like me. I was assuming that people thought the same way that I was thinking. I was assuming that I had people that was my riders. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when you realize that you the only person that is your own rider. You the only one that's riding. And you look back, you're like, oh man, everybody left the door open. They jumped out the car. Everybody jumped out the car. You're like, oh, you understand? You start realizing that you only got you at the front seat of the wheel. And once you realize that you are the only person that's in the front seat of the wheel, shoot, like you gotta run, you gotta ride your own car, you gotta drive it. And so all I'm basically saying is, and I hope that this video was meaningful. I feel like we're just talking, right?
We're just talking,
but I just feel like the more that I'm understanding who I am, I start putting expectation on certain things, or I put let me show you that. I start putting boundaries.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I start putting boundaries, like what I will have said.
Yeah, when you start putting boundaries, that's when confusion comes down to the situation. You just got to go with the flow.
You got to go with the flow. You have to. Because you're going to burn yourself. You're looking at other people's success, and that ain't got nothing to do with you.
And we don't know their stories.
We don't know their story. Like I said, I used to sit here and be like, man, I see them growing, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I wasn't. Like, man, I see them growing. Like, I'm doing the same thing. And it's like, princess, focus on what you're doing. Like, I have to tell myself that. I don't have people that I can talk to like that, and this is not me. I'm just trying to recruit people, but it's just something I had to tell myself, like, hey, like, stop focusing on what they're doing. Yeah. Like, figure out one thing before I end this live, Mom, because I know I've been chatting a lot, and I don't want
20 minutes, but
I know, like 20 minutes. You know, whenever I say 20 minutes, girl, that means 2 hours. But Mom, from an older person, that's not so bad. But from an older, mature woman's perspective, especially, from a woman from Kansas City, from a woman that's from Kansas City, that decided to leave and stuff. Like, how do you feel making this journey here?
You know, it is.
I'm sorry, I got to what I needed, and recently made my decision to relocate. I'm working the plan and having a deadline to make it happen. You dropped a lot of jewels. Salute. Gotta go on research paper. Have a great day, ladies. Have a great day. I'm sorry if I was like up front and personal, but yes. Thank you for watching, and we appreciate it.
You know, when she was talking about it, I always dreamed, looking at magazines, like, I want to go on travel and everything. Mm-hmm. And at this time, and right now, when we left Kansas City, Tucson, and went to I felt great because it was just so much stress where I was going through. And like I said, I lost my mother. It was just so much going on. I'm happy. I am more happy than I was, 10 or 14 years ago? Who I'm now 59 years old.
Yeah.
So I tell anybody my age, it's not too late to do what you do.
Yeah, like, and that's the other thing. When people get to an older age, they just feel like life, and that's why I'm just like, F everybody, because everybody have like this mentality, like they put the statistic, like if you have one kid or you have 2 kids, you have 3 kids, like how do you do it? Like, girl, just wrap them kids around. Like, life does not stop because life happens, right? Whether you have kids or you're older, life happens, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna beat you up because life happened. I'm sorry, I better move this because it's like moving.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna beat you up because life happened. What I am gonna now look at you different. It's like, okay, so what are we gonna do from now? Like, what are we gonna work on now? Like, okay, yes, in your 40s you could have done this. In your 30s you could have done this. In your 20s you could have did this. But what can you do now?
That's it. The word is now. What
like now, like what can we
do right now in your life? And just enjoy it. God gives us. I'm not trying to make this as a religious situation, but sometimes God be talking to us, but we don't listen.
Don't be listening at all. Or don't be listening.
He goes signs to us, and we just like. That's just great.
But I just feel like, but I also feel like I'm gonna read in the comments. I won't be like going up there, so I have it on my phone as well. But I really feel like, oh my head, oh guys, I ain't turning back my head. This hair nasty. I also need somebody to braid my hair.
Yeah. Somebody out here.
Okay, but anyway, I just feel like it's not about. I don't judge a person on their past. I don't judge people anyway. But I do judge people. Okay. I'm like, I don't judge. I do judge. I don't judge people for their past. I judge you for what you're doing now. Because I wasn't there in your past. Right. I didn't know you in your past. I judge you for what you're doing now. And I'm not judging you to critique you or anything. I'm just like, okay, well, you're telling me all this stuff in your past. You're telling me all this stuff what you didn't do. But what are you doing now? Like, what is happening? What do you need help with? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What do you need help? What do you feel like you're not getting further for? Like, that is me. That is me right there. Like, I don't care about the past. Like, bro, as long as you wasn't killing people and stuff like that, like, what are we doing now? Like, what are we doing to better you now? And how can we make you successful?
And that's the reason we came on live was what would you do if it was not a pandemic? But panorama. Yes.
Panorama.
So the question is that you listen to this video or this live, just ask, the question we're asking is, what would you do if it was not a panorama? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you gotta ask your question. You gotta ask yourself that. And guys, like I always say before, is that you always gotta live your life authentically. You cannot sit here and wait for everybody to tell you that it's your time, because you never know when it's your time. Okay, you cannot wait for other people to tell you when it's your time, because you don't even know when it's your last day here on earth. So my best advice to anybody that wants to take that pursuit, and I don't care if you don't, and it doesn't matter if you're moving out of the country or you're moving out of another state.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do to make you happy.
Yeah.
Just do, like, that's the whole message that I'm making throughout this live. It's like, do what you have to do, because at the end of the day, like I told you guys, like, I was having panic attacks. I was having all this stuff while I was here in Mexico. And this is something that I was explaining on none of my videos, but I was having anxiety attacks. I was having, I was so worried about how other people, especially people here in Meredith, felt about me. Because I'm just like, I don't know how to, because some people be rubbing me the wrong way. I'll be like, oh my God, y'all act bougie. Some people, but what I'm trying to say is that live your life, right?
That's true. Just live your life.
Just live your life. And from one thing I said, I think I need to edit that video. I need to edit that video of me.
Which one is that?
Because remember we was talking about when I took the kids, when we was downtown in Meredith.
Oh.
But anyway, That video is gonna come. I have a whole bunch of videos.
She hasn't got to it. Oh, the sun is hitting me. Ooh.
All right, girl. She said she was little. She's 51. She said,
Good girl,
I stuck around from mom's perspective because I'm 51. Glad I did. She confirmed my new journey. I'm on the right path. She says, listening to God. All right, I'm out. Yeah, like I tried to put my mom on here because I do know that I have people that are older, and for them, and I always try to get my mom's perspective, and sometimes like, Princess, shut up, let your mom speak. But yeah, like your perspective of them.
Like I said, is I'll be 60 next year and stuff like that, and I am so happy. I tell people my age, do it.
What do you feel like was holding you back? What was holding you back? What do you
feel?
Fear.
Fear was the biggest thing I asked, because everybody say oh, you're too old, that, you go to these countries, you're not going to be successful and stuff. And I'm looking like, I always dreamed this since I was a little girl.
Do you feel that you are successful now? Do you feel like you're more happier now?
I am more happy. I don't have to worry about a lot of things. I mean, you talk about, I was taking a whole bunch of pills, and I was going through stress. I was, my hair was falling. It was just so much going on, It was just, I had to surrender.
And then it was a whole bunch of debt,
I was in a lot of debt. I just started to it is, God put me on this earth, and He did not put me on here to die. So what the heck? Go and do what you got to do.
But that's why I always ask people, and I want people to answer this question. If anybody have the time, if this panorama did not happen, what would you have been doing still? What would you have been doing still? What would you still have been doing? Would you still have loved and pursued your dream? Or would you still, and I don't want you to say because you don't want people to judge you. I don't want you to say because you feel like people judge. That's too many people. People want to make everybody feel like everybody want to say certain things. I don't know. First of all, I don't want you to say things for me to agree with you.
Right.
I want you to say things because this is how you really feel. And when she asked me this question, I had to be real with myself and said, no, I would never have the US, right?
Yes.
I would never laugh.
I don't know what, it just, something always have these questions coming in my head, and I just brought that up to her. And I said, well, what would you do if you did, with the pandemic was not even exist?
Panoramic.
Sorry. I mean, she tried, there's nothing wrong correcting me. But anyway, and she said, nobody never asked me that question.
Nobody really asked me. Everybody asked me like, well, how do I get here? Or how do I do this? And how do I do this? But nobody really asked me, Princess, if this, panorama didn't happen, would you still have done what you were doing now? Right. And I feel like people don't understand, like, it took a lot for me to do this. It wasn't something that was just like, oh, I'm gonna leave. It was more of like, it was a lot of demons that I was fighting within myself. It was a lot of, as humans, one thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna cut this video because we're already at 1 hour. Yeah. But what I would like to say is, as humans, we create our own roadblocks.
True.
We create our own roadblocks inside our minds. My question is, what will happen if we remove those roadblocks that we created? Do you know how successful we will be? Do you understand how, not fearful of certain things that we would have been? You know what I'm saying? Like, this panorama
really shook.
It's a movie. She was like, I'm a shook you. It's a scene. But anyway, so to end off this live, I want to ask you this because, these be me and my mom's conversation. I really just wanted to share with you guys because you can tell this is morning time because, girl, I just threw something out. But what would you have said, okay, if you were, how can I say, like back in the future kind of stuff, but if you were able to see a TV, if there was a TV right here, like let's say this was a TV, if TV was right here, and let's say that it was your younger self right here, and your younger self is ready to pursue life. They're like, you know how young, like, I can't wait to get out of my parents' home and I'm ready to live life. Right? If your younger self was right here and she was just like looking at you
like a mirror,
what would you say to your younger self?
Dude, I tell you this, don't have nothing, anybody in your life tells you can't do it. Don't stop. Mm-hmm. If you make mistakes down the road, it's a learning curve. But just do it. Just do it. That's all I can say.
Just do it.
Just do it.
I will say to Skinny Princess.
Skinny Princess.
I will say to Princess is that I know that you're going through, this is what I will say. I'm gonna look at you because and anybody looking at me, I know it's kind of awkward because I'm just staring down in your eyes, but I'm talking to Princess, okay? I will say to Princess that you are going to go through a lot of stuff, but it does not mean that it defines you. True. It doesn't define who you are going to be, the woman that you are going to be. I'm going to also tell little Princess is that the reason why you feel like life seem hard or just things feel hard in general for you to achieve is because when you're trying to, not even that, when you are trying to fight a generational curse, it is never going to be easy. And you have to keep going. Yeah. And those tears that you shed and those times that you want to give up, keep moving. Keep going, keep moving. You are going to have like some people that's going to try to stop you. There's going to be some manipulation, some narcissistic people in your life, but you got to understand that God has a bigger plan for you.
He's always had a plan to you.
And just understand that because you're not able to achieve it here and now, right now, doesn't mean that you won't achieve it later. You understand? It's just that right now we have to fight off this generational curse that has been planted inside the family that you were placed in, and that you have to start. Like you got to understand, like,
you need to look at this way.
The way you telling little princess, you talking little princess. I'm talking to little princess.
Okay,
I'm talking to little princess. You can't talk to little princess right now. But I'm telling you, girl, you will be happy. Yeah. You will be happy. You will be strong, and just you're gonna meet a guy. Run.
Well, guys are bad. It's just that we're not trying to beat up the guys.
No, I said you're gonna meet a guy.
Oh, you're talking to yourself.
I'm talking to me. Like you're talking to yourself. You just trying to tell. Okay, listen. This is why I don't have my mom on my lives. Like, cause sometimes she just she'll be going. But no, guys. That's what I will say to myself. That's what you would say to the younger you. And I hope that this 1 hour live was informative. It was something that will uplift you and understand. Stop worrying about what other people is doing and focus on what you can do right then and there. You understand? We get so fixated on, image or Instagram, all this person's success and stuff. My success, listen, when it comes from me, when it comes from me, baby, when things go in the order that is supposed to be, I already took the first initiative step. And the first initiative step that I took is believing in me. Yeah. Okay? So if you have already took your first step, pat yourself on the back. Okay? Okay, now we got to work on our second step. But hold up. It's okay. It might not be how everybody else is doing. But you do you, baby. You do you. And once you do you are going to genuinely be happy. You're not going to be a fake happy. You're not going to be here and just make a video because that's what other people want. You're going to be genuinely happy. And it's not throwing shots at anybody. I'm just saying that sometimes you have to sit back and you have to say, what is it that I feel can make me happy, and how can I grow from this? And that's all I'm saying. Point blank, period, ... But besides that, Mom, you got anything else that you'll let anybody?
No, we talked a lot about what we went through, and the question that we brought the topic to everybody is, well, what you do in a, say what I say, because I don't say
in a panoramic.
Panoramic.
So please, in the comments, if the panoramic, and I'm gonna say this again, because I know somebody gonna be like, that's not the word.
Yeah.
I know how to speak. I know how to say it, but I'm not gonna say it. But if the panoramic did not happen, and we were, you know, everybody, I won't say normal because I don't think anybody on this earth is normal. But if we were in this, if this panorama didn't happen, would you still be doing what you're doing, or would you actually be doing what you're doing now? And I don't want you to say because it makes you feel good. I don't really care. I want to say it doesn't really affect me. If you're not truthful to yourself, then you're not going to be able to grow. But would you still be doing it? I said no. I would have still been working at my 9-to-5 job and stressed the hell out. Okay, that's just me. My mom said no. She probably would have not took that.
I wouldn't even left. I would have just stayed in my little ordinary.
Or we would have talked ourselves out of it. We would have tried to found something like, oh, well, maybe if we just do it the next year, we save some money.
Yeah.
Or maybe, or maybe, let's build up our income for 2 months. Or, we always try to talk ourselves out of situations that can actually, like, just doing it, right? So my question before is, if the panoramic did not happen, would you still be doing the same exact thing? Be truthful to yourself. Think about it before you type. Type about it. Yeah. But anyway, this is our morning conversation. I don't know. We probably make some more of this. Morning conversation.
I like this. I like it very much because,
and I think I'm gonna do live. I'm not gonna do video because I don't want to edit. Yeah. I don't feel like editing. But
everybody's doing live now.
I would do live, but what I really would say is these are me and my mom's morning conversations. Yeah. She's over at my apartment, but these are the morning conversations when she's over at her house and we just be on the phone.
Like, talking about everything.
You maybe got an auntie or a mama or somebody that y'all be having morning conversations to. This is our morning conversation. This is what we talk about. We talk about life. We talk about things that we want to achieve. We talk about things that we feel like we're not achieving. And we talk about those things. And it's something that I really want to probably put on this platform as well. So if you like these morning conversations, if you like these morning talks, especially with my elder, which is my mother, which is my mom, that is also, if you haven't been here, she also lives in Meredith, Mexico. If this is something that you like, go ahead, put that down, like the video, go ahead and subscribe, But anyway, I don't even know what that means, so okay. But anyway, guys, we're about to go ahead and get into these Meredith streets. I don't know, it looks like it's about to rain.
That's what I said.
It be getting like cloudy and dark and stuff. Like I be like, oh, but I really want to get out.
Now.
I feel like it be like, come outside. I need to go outside real quick. But I really do need to get outside because I feel like I've been in my apartment working and I really want to have some good time. So if you're in Meredith, you see me out in public, please don't just stare at me. Just say, hey girl. And I probably is not going to respond right away. I'm probably going to be like, because I'm very socially awkward.
And that's what we're trying to get from me.
I'm very socially awkward and I'm an introvert, and I know in these videos it might not seem like that, but I gotta be really comfortable with you in order for me to have a conversation, because then I'm just gonna stare at you like you're crazy. But if you see me, say hello. My mom is a social one, so my mom talks.
I like to talk. I love to talk.
She talks to everybody. She'll even talk to a homeless person. Nothing wrong with that, okay?
No, it's just that vibe. When I'm talking to people, I can feel their vibe. And
she talks to everybody. She don't talk
to everybody. I just like try to.
She talks to everybody, okay?
Conversation, because I don't like be sitting and sounding like
I do. I put my headphones on. I be sitting right.
That's why
outside
the different generation. I came from a time that you communicate.
I
Kids
do.
today do computers.
No. Listen, I'm a 32-year-old woman. Listen, I am a grown woman here now. I do talk. I do. Okay. I know we're supposed to end this, but let me say this one thing. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you about this. Okay. I don't give everybody my energy. Some people it's not worth your energy, and some people are just weird.
Oh, well, I know the weirdo.
So with me, I am a awkward black girl. I am a very awkward black girl, meaning that if you invited me somewhere, I'm more than likely it's not going to talk to everybody. You more than likely will have to talk to me because I'm just going to stare at you, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I have friends and I have other people, and I'm very loud. I'm very loud when I'm with people that I feel comfortable with. I love it when I'm with other people. But if I don't know you, I keep my circle tight. Because I do have anxiety. I don't trust a lot of people.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And so that's that. That's that. So it's not because I'm trying to be rude or anything. It's just you don't know what other people want. Like, what do you want from me? Like, who sent you? That's how I'll be like, who sent you? But that's why I don't talk. My mom is very social. I'm nice too. I would say hello, how you doing?
When your dad was in contracting, I had to communicate.
Maybe I worked around a whole bunch of people. I had my own business. I was talking to people. See, when it came to my business, I had to talk to people, right? Because I was making my money. You feel what I'm saying? I talk to people.
You talk to people.
Because I was making my money. I'm going to be truthful. I was making my money. I was talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Because we had a business relationship, okay? But I don't know. I just have this little thing. I just have this thing where when I don't know. I have always been that way. I'm 100% introvert. I know a lot of people think that I'm an extrovert, but I'm like an introvert when I don't know you, but I'm an extrovert when I do know you.
That's true.
And it's nothing wrong.
You're both.
I'm both, depending on our relationship. Let me just say that. It depends on our relationship. But anyway, because my mom's eyes keep flickering and she just keeps on touching it.
Have you ever had something like it's like annoying to me?
Okay, it's fine. You can put it down. It's normal.
Not to me. This is the first time.
No, this is not first time. It's second time.
Well, second time.
We're not gonna make a video about your eyes flickering.
Okay. Well, I'm trying not to do that. I'm just okay.
Okay, we're not gonna make. Okay, but what I am trying to say is I do appreciate you guys viewing this live.
Yeah.
I do know we went sideways in the conversation. Some about my mom's eye because she likes a center of attention. She likes a center of attention.
No, I don't. It's just
we could be like talking about a business plan. My mom will talk about her eyes all day. She will talk about her eyes all day. Do that have anything to do with this video?
No. But
okay. And I'm not being mean to my mom. Me and my mom talk like this too. I know I always have to clarify some things because most people don't know me and my mom's relationship, but we do this all the time, baby. But anyway, thank you so much for watching and tuning in to this live. I know I've seen people coming in and coming out. And like I said, I am going to keep this video. I am going to save this video. So if anybody wants to watch the remainder of the video, I don't know if you want to watch the whole hour video. Hey, you want to take a little time out, watch a little bit. But I hope that you get a good idea of what the message I'm trying to see, basically say. This is not something scripted. This is not something I planned. This is something I just woke up this morning and said, hey, I want to make an early morning live. And I know half of y'all are still asleep, farting, scratching your behinds. So I said, why not make a live?
I said, whoa, everybody's still asleep.
Everybody's asleep. But it's fine. You know, they say early birds get the worm. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what worm I'm going to get, but I don't know. But I'm going to get off of here on this live. Thank you so much. If you are wanting to see more videos like this, go ahead and put that down below. Like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That is where you get the latest updates of my videos because you know your girl have been missing like Princess. Where you at? MIA. But Thank you so much for the support, the love, and the continuous support that you provide onto my channel. Also, I do have an Instagram, Princess Show +3. If you're wanting to just follow me on there, that's where I usually am. Besides YouTube, I usually post on my Instagram. But besides that, I love you guys. I hope that you guys, if I don't make any videos tomorrow or the following day or through the week, have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
I love you guys. I don't even know you guys, but I love the people that loves me. So I gotta love y'all, right? And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yeah, let's get our Saturday started. Woo, 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 woo. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.
We're on YouTube?